Paris in the 1600s was not a quiet city. It was crowded, restless, and alive.
By the 1600s, the River Seine was the artery that kept Paris alive. This view shows barges.
This view shows Pont Neuf, the newest bridge of its age. Completed in 1607.
This view shows Notre-Dame Cathedral in the early 1600s. Its stone facade dominates the island.
By the mid-1600s, the Louvre was no longer just a fortress. It was becoming a palace shaped by royal ambition.
This view shows Les Halles, the central market that fed Paris. From before dawn, carts arrive loaded with...
By this time, the Marais had become Paris' most fashionable places.
This view shows Paris after dark. Oil lamps flicker weakly along narrow streets, barely pushing. By the late 1600s, Paris pressed hard against its limits. This view shows the city's...
By 1667, Paris began to change how it governed itself.
Crowding came at a cost. This view shows the quieter fear that moved through Paris in the 1600s. Fire was a constant fear in Paris. This view shows how closely homes, workshops, and open flames were packed together. Fast now. Clean water was never guaranteed. This view shows how Paris lived with open gutters, shared wells, and...
Paris lived with sharp contrasts. This view shows wealth and hardship, sharing the same streets.
Disturbers. Religion shaped daily life in Paris. This view shows a public ritual drawing the city together. Not all power in Paris was loud. This view shows how learning moved quietly through the city. Paris ran on skilled hands. This view shows workshops where guild craftsmen shaped wood, leather, metal, and cloth.
Money moved Paris in quieter ways. This view shows merchants counting coins, weighing goods, and bargaining face to face.
Moving through Paris was never simple. This view shows carts, animals, and people competing for the same...
After long days, Parisians sought relief in places like this. This view shows a tavern where laborers...
Justice in Paris was meant to be seen. This view shows how punishment was carried out in public, drawing crowds into the process.
News in Paris traveled by voice. This view shows a town crier reading royal proclamations at a busy corner. At times, Paris allowed itself to celebrate. This view shows a public festival filling the streets.
Royal power was made visible in Paris. This view shows a ceremonial procession moving through the city. Paris was never far from conflict. This view shows soldiers stationed within the city, drilling and maintaining. Paris struggled to hold its people. This view shows streets where homes rise higher and press closer together, each level carved into smaller rooms.
In Paris, childhood was brief. This view shows children sharing crowded courtyards.
For many, old age in Paris brought uncertainty. This view shows the elderly poor.
Death was never far away in Paris. This view shows a funeral moving through narrow streets toward a crowded kid. Paris did not stop. This view shows workers repairing walls, roofs, and streets after loss. As night fades, Paris returns. This view shows the city at dawn, smoke seen from above. Seen from above, Paris feels almost timeless. This view shows a city shaped by repetition. Much of Paris still follows these same paths. This view shows streets first shaped in the 1600s, worn smooth by centuries of footsteps.
Some buildings never stopped watching. This view shows landmarks that stood in the 1600s and still shape Paris.
What endures most is the routine. This view shows people moving through streets shaped long before them. Moments like this reveal how close the past still is. This view shows a pause between movements, where centuries seem to overlap. When we slow down, the distance between centuries shrinks. This view shows Paris moving beside the Paris in the 1600s feels distant yet close. Through these reconstructed views, the city becomes more than history.